Hey everybody, how's it going? Cameron Momeyer with Soul Sourced Energy Healing. Nice to have you back. Welcome to another Energy Minute. Today we're going to talk about the third eye. So this is another term that gets thrown around. We all have a vague sense of what it means. We know it has something to do with intuition, but some of you might not be sure that there's actually more to it. So in India, if you've ever been to India, or if you have any Indian friends, you might be familiar with the bindi, which is a sort of a sticker that is put right here traditionally in India on women. Has to do with strengthening and focusing the energy of the third eye. If you've seen ancient Indian depictions of some of the gods, some of them will have a literal third eye right here. The third eye corresponds with what's called the sixth chakra. So the sixth chakra is your sixth major energy center in your body. And I think tomorrow or the next Energy Minute, we'll go into the chakras more deeply, and I'll talk a little bit more, put them in context for you, talk a little bit more about what it is. This sixth chakra is right here. So you can think about the front of the chakra being here and the back of the chakra being here. And most of you think this has to do with intuition. I'm just looking at my hair now. Most of you think this has to do with intuition, which is true, very true, but we can be more specific about it. So for me, intuition is a whole body thing. You actually need all of your chakras to inform your intuitive senses. The sixth chakra, though, is specifically about your visual intuition, so your ability to see. And when I say your ability to see what's beyond your normal senses, I don't necessarily mean with your physical eyes. While some healers do see with their eyes open and they see physically, like a physical overlay of energy, either on top of or within the physical structures that we all see, for me and for most people, it's an internal event. So your inner vision. And this is exciting because almost everybody has inner vision. So if you close your eyes right now, go ahead and close them. And can you just visualize, let's come up with something random. Let's come up with a pink elephant. I'm missing the pink elephant car wash here in Seattle. So can you visualize a pink elephant? Now can you visualize that pink elephant has a blue scarf? And can you visualize that pink elephant has red toes? Did that work? Could you see it? So most of us can, at least to some extent, hold a visual image in our mind's eye with our eyes closed. There's a very small percentage of people on the planet, I just learned this, who don't visualize, who don't have that ability, who can't conjure a visual image with their eyes closed. There's a very famous man named Joseph Campbell. He wrote The Hero's Journey, which is a super famous book. It's an allegory about basically the journey of growing up and becoming the hero of your own story. And he was very interested in symbols. However, I was listening to an interview with one of his proteges, like a colleague, but also a student. And she was saying that he wasn't able to see things. He couldn't visualize things. And when she first learned this, she thought it was ridiculous. She couldn't even imagine that a man who invested his life in symbolism and myth couldn't visualize. But he said the way he explained it was that if you asked him to visualize something, if he closed his eyes, he would see a blank screen or like a white, maybe like a white sheet or something, but it was blank. And he wouldn't see anything on there, but he would know that something was behind the screen, and he would just either know it or he would sense it in his body. He would somehow just know what it was. He would feel it. And so that was how he would get intuitive inspiration and messages. And it's how he would come up with his books and see the connections between things. He wouldn't see it, he would feel it. So if that's you, I just want to say, that is really cool because you're very rare, which is cool. You're like a unicorn. Don't be frustrated. There are a lot of other intuitive senses that you're going to be able to develop. If you feel like your visual sense is it's not strong for you, it's not easy for you to close your eyes and hold an image of something, don't worry. Again, there's a lot of other senses, like intuitive senses that you can develop. And this is something that we go into on day 1 of intuitive self-healing, which we'll get to later. It's the course that's coming up. So next, let's see, the third eye, sixth chakra. All right, your ability to see, your ability to get visual downloads of information, all right? One of the things that's really important that I recently learned about this and that I love, and this is information that comes from Eugenia Ogonova, and she's a teacher who was born with her sixth chakra wide open. She could see with her physical eyes, she could see all the energy. She actually had to learn to figure out what was solid and what was physical, what other people could see and what other people couldn't see, because she was seeing it all. She was seeing ghosts, she was seeing your chakras. So she had to learn opposite from most of us. But she would say that all of your chakras have different functions, front and back. So the energy in the front is different from the energy in the back, and they they're like two halves of the whole. They're important and they feed each other. But for some of us, we have this front of the sixth chakra much stronger. Some of us have the back of the sixth chakra much stronger. Those of you who are stronger with the energy in the front, you're going to be more visionary. It's going to be really easy for you to see the big picture and to know where we're headed, and to get flashes of inspiration about huge projects that you want to create. For those of you who are stronger in the back of your sixth chakra, you might not be the visionary. You aren't the visionary, but you're really good at seeing the steps to make that vision come true. So oftentimes we'll have entrepreneurs. Oftentimes entrepreneurs are really strong in the front of their sixth chakra. They can see the big picture. They've got something they want to make happen, but they've learned they're good. If they're good entrepreneurs, they've learned that they need to hire on the people who are really good at the nitty gritty, seeing the steps that it's going to take this vision that the entrepreneur had and make it into a reality in this, third physical dimension that we live in. So if that's you, maybe you're identifying yourself or someone you love on one side or the other, those places, the front or the back of the sixth chakra. If you are right now working on a project where you need both of these things to be strong, spend some time with your sixth chakra. Go ahead and just relax for a little while with your eyes closed. And can you just relax and soften the front of the sixth chakra? And you could even ask your guides for help with inspiration and having big images or big pictures or, And then relax and feel the back of the sixth chakra. See if you can feel the space behind you even. Is that possible? And maybe you ask your guides for a little bit of help seeing the steps that it's going to take to get this big picture brought into reality. So that's your energy minute for today. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. If you love this information and you want to work more with the chakras and with your intuition, I am teaching a class starting on February 28th. It's going to run for 6 weeks. It's called Intuitive Self-Healing for Beginners. There's only 10 people in class. So if one of those spaces is yours, go ahead and sign up. I'm running a early bird special actually right now. So if you sign up before the 15th, you get a complimentary 30-minute private session with me. You could tack that on to a whole session if you wanted to go longer. But we can get a lot done actually in 30 minutes. So it's pretty valuable stuff. Visit soulsourcedenergyhealing.com if you want to learn more. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.